It's easy to get lost in all the agents and their abilities in Valorant since they're all unique and there's just so many of them. Every ultimate agent and their ultimate ability has their own uniqueness to them, and there's a lot of tips you could give for any of them, to be honest. But today, we're going to be focusing on one tip you need to know for every ultimate in Valorant. Ultimates in Valorant are the pinnacle of any agent's kit. It's their most valuable ability that can change the tides of any given round. And that's why it's equally important to know how to use each agent's ultimate for maximum efficiency. A well-used ultimate will usually win the round for you, so you need to know how to get the most out of those ultimate abilities. And in today's video, you're going to be learning how to do just that. You'll definitely win some rounds off the tips we give today, and maybe even hit a rank up from it. And for everything else you need to climb ranks and improve fast, there's SkillCapped.com. We take the highest priority skills to climb ranks fast, such as aiming, then we break those down into a step-by-step course that's really easy to understand. You're not only going to learn the basics, such as crosshair placement and clearing angles, but you're also going to learn more advanced concepts, like getting more multi-kills and repositioning. That's honestly not all, as every week, we release 6 brand new VOD reviews where Radiant coaches will teach you how to climb out of the rank that you're stuck in. And if you're looking for a personal experience instead, then we got you covered there too, with our new one-on-one coaching at our SkillCapped Discord. All of this seems too good to be true. Well, don't worry, because we're backed up by a rank up guarantee, which means if you don't significantly improve while actively using SkillCapped, then you get your money back, and there's no questions asked. So what are you waiting for? Click the link in the description below and get the rank that you've always wanted. Alright, now let's get into today's guide. Let's start off with Viper's ultimate, Viper's Pit. It's a giant pit of toxin that serves as her playground. Setting your enemy outline color to purple will allow you to see enemies a lot easier in Viper's Pit. It's night and day between having purple on and off. Omen's ultimate, From the Shadows, allows him to teleport anywhere on the map. For this ultimate, the only important thing is you can pick up the spike with it. All you have to do is teleport onto the spike, cancel the teleport, and now you have it. Up next is Phoenix's ultimate, Run It Back. It functions as an extra life for Phoenix while it's active. When his ultimate ends, you'll keep any gun you've picked up and get a free reload when it ends. That way you never have to worry about reloading or worry about whether or not you'll keep the gun you just picked up. Now onto Neon's ultimate, Overdrive. It allows her to move at top speed while shooting a laser from her fingers. With Overdrive active, Neon becomes a god of movement, and taking advantage of that is key. Our tip here is to never stop moving. And also, getting headshots with Neon ult will cause enemies to just fall over. Moving on to Brimstone's ultimate, Orbital Strike. It launches a giant hellfire towards a big area of the map. You should use this ability to force an enemy out of position or in post plants. I like using Orbital Strike to clear tower on Fracture, as it just makes the site that much easier to take, but be sure to communicate with your team on how you plan to use it. Our tip for Astra's ultimate, Cosmic Divide, is how to place this massive wall properly. A lot of people seem to struggle with placing Astra's ultimate, but all you need to do is go into Astral form, right-click to get your ultimate ready to place, and then left-click at 2 different points to place it properly. You don't need to spin it around like crazy to get into the right position, just simply left-click twice on 2 different positions. Now onto Cipher's ultimate, Neural Theft. This ultimate shows the position of all enemies on the map. Our biggest tip for Cipher's ultimate is to try and use it as efficiently as possible. I notice a lot of Ciphers just honestly waste their ultimate. If it's a 3v2 and you already know both the enemies were on the other bomb site, just don't use it. Try to save it for when you really need it. For Jett's ultimate, Blade Storm, she gets 5 knives to use in a round. And much like Neon, you really need to be moving constantly since you're always accurate with Blade Storm. Running and jumping is especially powerful with it. So our biggest tip here is just to stay unpredictable while using it. Gekko's ultimate, Thrash, will detain any enemy or teammate hit by it. If you left-click twice while Thrash is active, it'll explode wherever it's currently at, instead of having to wait for the jump animation to finish. This is really good if an enemy is right beside Thrash and you're worried about jumping too far and missing them. Sova's ultimate, Hunter's Fury, shoots 3 massive bolts that deal 80 damage each. Our biggest tip for Sova's ultimate is patience. Knowing the right time to use it is key. Stopping a plant, destroying a Killjoy ultimate, or using it off a really good dart. Just don't waste it, because it's a really strong ultimate. Also, you can get on top of objects while you're ulting. Reach's ultimate, Rolling Thunder, will concuss any enemy hit by it. The best tip for Rolling Thunder is to cover as much ground as possible with it and make sure the enemies can't hide from it when you do use it. Just check the minimap before you do and make sure there's no little corners for enemies to hide in. Now, Yoru's ultimate, Dimensional Drift, has infinite possibilities. You should always buy a shorty when you have Yoru's ultimate available. The shorty pulls out the fastest and you can use your decoy and flash combo to distract the enemy while you come out of your ultimate, then blast them into a million pieces. Sage's ultimate, Resurrection, doesn't have quite as many possibilities as Yoru's though. But one tip for Sage is to never be scared of baiting a teammate with Resurrection. For example, if you're in a 1v1 and you use the Resurrection on your teammate, the enemy almost has to peek and kill the teammate you revived. This turns into a golden opportunity for you to take a really advantageous fight against the enemy while they shoot at your teammate. Now, on the contrary, Reyna's ultimate, Impress, turns her into a killing machine. The best thing you can do while in Impress is to gather information when you dismiss with it active. Since you turn completely invisible while dismissing with Impress, you need to take advantage of that and get information to prepare for your next fight. You could also reposition with it to catch enemies off guard. Harbor's ultimate, Reckoning, is stronger than most give it credit for. It's a really good information gathering tool, so I tend to use it in post plants or site takes that there isn't a lot of information for. So our tip for this one is to try and use it when there's a lack of information, as it not only points enemies out with the concusses, but they also have to give up their position by running out of it. Killjoy's ultimate, Lockdown, will detain a massive after a certain amount of time. For Lockdown, you need to make sure you aren't using it on a round where the enemy team has a Brimstone ultimate or a Sova ultimate available. Since these are direct counter to Lockdown, it can just be a waste to use it on rounds with those available. Up next, Raze's ultimate, Showstopper, is a giant rocket that feels like it just doesn't hit sometimes. And that's why our must-know tip for Showstopper is to always aim it at the ground by the enemy's feet when you shoot it, because if not, you'll definitely miss a lot of them. This ultimate also benefits from the same thing as Neon and Jett, where movement is key. Using satchels and just jumping around makes it harder to hit you. Skye's ultimate, Seekers, will seek after the closest 3 enemies to her. Use this ultimate when you feel you'll gather the most information possible from them. If you're playing on A split, for example, using them when they push A won't really do anything for you and it'll just be a waste. Try to get the most out of them. Chamber's ultimate, Tour de Force, gives him an operator with 5 bullets for free. With this ultimate, you want to be as aggressive as possible while utilizing Chamber's teleport alongside it. You get an operator for free as long as a free teleport out if anything goes wrong, so you should be taking calculated risks with it. Fade's ultimate ability, Nightfall, will mark, deafen, and decay any enemy hit by it. The best tip for Fade's ultimate is to listen to the screams it makes when the enemies are hit by it. Not only will it tell you how many enemies are hit based on the amount of screams, but it'll also tell you their position since the ult goes out one section at a time. If you hear a scream, someone is in the section that just got activated. KO's ultimate, Null Command, disables enemy abilities from anyone hit by it. For KO's ultimate, you should really try to keep quiet before using it so you can catch your enemies off guard before they get a chance to use any utility. Try getting in the most central position possible before using it, then exploding out afterwards. Now that we've talked about our must-know tips for every ultimate in Valorant, let's mention some common mistakes that players make with their ultimate. One mistake we see all the time is wasting ultimate abilities against enemies on eco, or in super advantageous situations like 5v2s and such. Another couple mistakes are not communicating your ultimate to your team and having poor ult timing. To fix all of these, you just need to be more aware of how you're using them and whether or not now is the best time to use it. One question I ask myself is, do I need to ult here? Like we mentioned at the start, you want to get the most value possible out of ultimate abilities since they can make or break rounds, so be wise in how you use them. And ultimates can be used in such a variety of ways, so experiment with adapting them to your own playstyle. We're sure all the tips in this video will be a huge help along the way as well. Now that you know every ultimate in Valorant and their must-know tip, be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed, and thanks for watching. Also, let us know if there's any cool must-know tips about ultimates that we missed in this video in the comments below. And this was just a glimpse of what we have to offer though. Over at SkillCapped, we've got you covered with dozens of tailor-made courses that will teach you everything you need to know about climbing in Valorant. We'll teach you everything you need to know about mastering your mechanics so that you can start playing at an immortal level in no time. Along with this, we also upload tons of VOD reviews each week that our coaches record from looking at players just like you. So rather than just paying for one $200 coaching session on any of the other platforms, you can get access to hundreds of them for just a few dollars. Not only that, but our coaches are also at the ready in our Discord to take a look at your gameplay and tell you exactly what your issues are if by chance you don't find value from all those other things on the site that we offer. Use the link below for a discount link on your purchase today, and other than that, we here at SkillCapped want to thank you all for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.